Hey guys, Lily Ray's here again today. I am going to, I'm always confused when I start because when I start a project, I do things in steps. And if I don't do them in steps, it just throws me off. But anyway, I was testing to see, this is poster board. And so I was testing it on my machine. As you can see, I sewed on this poster board. And then I cut out my cardstock and then sewed that on. And this I made in pieces. This from here to here is one piece. And then this here, this second portion right here is two pieces. So you have this out one piece, and then you have the two that go right on top, just to manage the crease better. Because what I did was I used Mod Podge to coat the whole thing over, and then I did the strips so that when it bends it doesn't break, because this paper breaks. Not all cardstock paper breaks, but this one seems to be a little fragile. So I went ahead and did that and kind of salvaged the paper. So I stopped myself there. I also put in some magnets. So this is supposed to close like that, like this way. All right, that's how that's gonna go. Now I went ahead and sprayed my paper. I punched this out with some dies that I had, some spellbinder dies that I have. Sorry. And then I cut the inside, and this is part of the same paper line. And that paper line is this one here, Summer Dream. I've had it for over a year. Never used it. I figured I would try to do something a little different out of my comfort zone, because while my books, I'm trying to make them junk journals, I can't seem to make them junky. You know, I like the way that they come out, but this is out of my comfort zone. This pink and this purple, and just the mix of prints is throwing me a little off, but I'm going to ignore that and just go ahead and put these things down, because this is what I selected. I'm not going to change it. I'm not going to pretty it up as I usually do. So let's see how this turns out. So what I did was I put tape around this, and see, I put right, an R for right, and then here left, and this is 5 by 6.5. So 6.5 is the length and 5 is the width. And then this one is, the spine is 1.5. And again, I put tape around the edges. And then what I'll do is I'll put some Aleene's tacky glue in the center and tack that down. So let's start with that first. Actually, yeah, let's go ahead and start with that first. So I'm going to make sure my book is in the right direction, and I'm going to take this tape off, and again I'm going to try and stay within frame. Where is my glue? Here it is. I put it into this little bottle. It's easier to manage. And then I also put glue on top of the tape, just so that I can slide it back and forth, and it gives me time to kind of position the paper. These are good, but they empty out pretty quickly. It's right on top of that tape. Okay. Oop. So let's see if I can keep this in frame and kind of position it. I sprayed this with my glimmer mist that I made. And it's this is my own. This is the Tim Holtz inks, and I combined two colors to make the purple, and it looks like grapefruit juice, but it works. Alright, so let me use this. Remember, this has the magnets, so you have to make sure that you... Let me grab a wipey. Okay, I'm going to let that dry and move on to the next. Alright, and this one goes here. Let's do the same. Anyway, I'm going to put these down because it's going to take some time for the glue to come down, and I will be right back. Okay guys, I am back. I went ahead and put this down. I had to put my spine down, so I did one side just to save some time, and then now I'm going to show you how I do that hidden spine. I really don't care unless it's a beautiful ribbon or something beautiful outside. I don't like the twine that sits outside the pages. But anyway, that's just me. I went ahead and I sewed these signatures. It's only 2 signatures onto a separate piece of it's not cardstock. This is poster board. I keep forgetting what the name of that is. Poster board. And then I, once I sewed the signatures in, I glued it to the actual book. So you see there? And then I'm going to, I don't like this white either, but I will decorate that. But I did put a piece of cardstock to match the rest of the cardstock, and so now we are going to go ahead. I glued this down as well, and I always score where I'm going to fold it, and now we're going to glue this here. Okay, and then we can embellish this with anything we want. So let's go ahead and glue that so that we give that a minute to dry. And then I left these dangling. I want to put some buttons on there. This is a real junk journal because I'm just going with what I see, what I have. I think that some people are calling this remainders. I call them scraps, which is the same thing as remainders. But let's see how it works out. It will be in my Etsy store. This glue, I actually combined it with some Mod Podge, but I think I have to make it a little thicker. I'm going to put some Aleene's Tacky Glue on here because it's a little bit too watery for me. And the reason I smush it around is so that the excess doesn't spew out, you know, a lot. But you got to make sure that all the dry spots are wet, because if not, then you'll have some bubbles in the paper. Okay. I hate this part because it's so messy. So, let me see. Yeah. Making sure you don't go over the gusset line. See, I have to bring this up. It's too little. This is cut exact. My fingers are so sticky. Take a dry rag. I have a Bounty. And then just press. Press so that all of that glue is smushed around and all of the paper has contact. So to Nancy B, who wanted to know how I did my spine, I have several ways of doing spines. This is one way. And if there's anything overlapping, you have to wait till it dries, and then you just cut it. Alright, so all this I can take out. I haven't decorated, and again, it's the first time that I do it like this. Normally I decorate my pages and then I put my pages in. But I'm doing this different. There was a difference in the length of these two. One is a little longer than the other one. Again, it's a junk journal. I went with it. So, I'm going to let this dry flat, and then we will manipulate it gently. You could use your bone folder just to kind of bend that in. What is that? Okay. Slowly. This one still has to bend. If I had to buy this paper again, I wouldn't buy it because it is just paper that cracks. So now, come on. Looking at the top of this, yeah. I'll keep manipulating it, and I will be back. Okay, so here we have, everything is semi-dry, okay? Try to keep it as flat as possible and rubbing the edges to make sure that your edges are down, and then slowly just try and bend this. I sealed my envelope, and that I sprayed with the glimmer mist that I made. And I'm going to add aren't these adorable? I got them at my dollar store. Who would have thunk it? Anywho, I punched out some flowers and buttons. Because I want to add them to the strings here. So I'm going to take I'm going to ink the edges of the flower. Oh, and quickly, oh, my hands are butterfingers today. And quickly ink the edges just on the side. I mean, if you wanted to, you could go in and decorate it as a flower, but I don't feel the need. The button. And you're going to need 2 for 1 string, because you're going to butt them back to back and glue them. I also have the die for small, medium, and large buttons, just because I love buttons so much. I think this is a little too long, so I'm going to go ahead and maybe tie it right there, and then probably scoot it through here. Since it's a little loose, I'm going to tie that up. I mean, it's not that loose, but you work it gently. Okay. And then here I'm going to make a surgeon's knot, which is just tying it, looping it twice. And this way that is secure. Okay. Now, we're going to take some glue. Let's use the ones that I inked. Take the glue. Oh, I put my Aleene's tacky glue in here. Ooh, it's oozing out. Ooh, because it's full. It's a full bottle. Let me get a napkin. Oh man. It's easier to work with this glue bottle than it is with that Aleene's tacky glue bottle. Having to kind of press the nozzle down and alright, anyway. So we're going, because this has sufficient glue, we're just going to lay it on top. Take the other flower and lay it on top and gently squeeze them together. And then line them up. And then you just let them dry. Taking out all I had too much glue on there. Alright, I'm just gonna lay that down. Let's do it on this side that has less glue. Okay, now we can do the same thing with the button. So this just has too much glue. What is going on? Lay this down here. Aren't those cute? I love those buttons. All right. And then let's go to the other side, which is right here. And I'm just going to pinch these here. The pages will conform, it's just that it's a new book. Actually, I'm going to put the button on the shorter one. And then we can ink it while it's on here as well once it dries. If you wanted to, you could put some strings through there as well. See, this one you don't even have to squeeze. Let's go ahead and make this even. Okay, and there you have your dangles. We have to let these dry, and then I will go ahead and hit them with some ink. Alright, so now let's look at these pages. I put some decoupage on this just to give it that soft feel with some glimmer mist. I punched out that flower and I added some holes here to put the ribbon through it. I love this look. And that's the inside. Put a button here as well, just to make it look pretty on that side. And I sprayed this with this glimmer mist, and I used my scissors, my Victorian scissors, to cut out the edges because I don't have a lot of edge punch. And then I decided to add, actually, these two are the leftover of this 8.5 by 11 sheet. So I figured you could put something here, you know, as a picture, another picture here, or you could use it as journaling, whatever you want. And again, I haven't embellished this book. I don't know that I will. Maybe I'll just put it on my Etsy page and let them have at it. You know, I'll add some ephemera so that they can add whatever they want. This is a flip up with some lace. This is not lace trim. This is actually lace from a piece that I got at the flea market. I just cut it. Okay, then this one I'm going to be adding, I have these little baggies that are purple, and I think I may add one there like that. Not sure yet, but if I don't, I will definitely include it. And then look at how luscious this looks. This is packing paper. This is brown paper bag. Again, I want to put a pocket here. I may add the pockets. I did the same thing here, but this I didn't ink up. So these pages are got a pocket there. You have more pages here. Anyway, that's another page. I know it is. This one has like 3 of them. I want to add another pocket here to hide that sewing. And then I did another flip page there for privacy. I love the way this came out. I'm going to do this with an 8.5 or 5x7. Look how pretty that is. Isn't that just yummy? I did it on the brown, but I don't know about, I don't know. It's kind of subtle. Okay, here we have more pages with purple mist. It looks like eggplant. And then that's the end of that signature. I'm going to add a bow, a ribbon from in here to go outside. Okay, this one I haven't finished, as I said, embellishing it, but I did spray it. This one I did do the pocket. So this is a pocket here, big pocket. And then this is a flip out here. And this is from a pillowcase. More paper, more journaling. The paper bag, more journaling. More journaling. I love the way the purple came out. The purple mist, I just love it. Another flip. And another pocket. I have to put more tape here. And another pocket. Journaling. Journaling. I love the way it's a small journal, but you can add a lot to it. I want to do it, but I'm gonna control myself and not do it. I'm gonna add a pocket here. Actually, I may not add a pocket here because they can put a picture here. So let's see what happens. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I do want pockets. A pocket here would look nice as well, like a diagonal pocket. And you can do so much with this. All right, so we've completed what I wanted to do today, which was to attach the spine, attach the side pockets, the side panels, and then making sure that we did the dangles. Look how beautiful the dangles look. And then there you have just the skeleton of the book, of the journal. I love this paper. And lace, I sewed that on there, and I sewed that on there, so that is not going anywhere. And I want to put a nice bow here, but I want to punch it through from the inside out. But again, as I said, I didn't want to do too much because I always do a lot, and I don't give the person an opportunity to do their own embellishing, so I may wait. Okay, that's it for today, guys. Tomorrow I will be back with I'm gonna prepare the pockets, whatever I think, the ephemera that I think is gonna go in here, and maybe put down the pockets and put all of the ephemera in envelopes and in their pockets, so that whomever purchases this, they have the opportunity to embellish their own journal, including the front. All right, guys, thank you for joining me. Have a great day.